Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. It has been our objective to bring you update on the upcoming elections to the various states. And today we have the pleasure of company of JVC Sreeram, and we are going to take a look critically at one state which perhaps holds the key to the future of India, Uttar Pradesh. So without further delay, let's welcome our guest of the day, JVC Sreeram. Sreeram, namaskaram and welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaskaram, happy Makar Sankranti, happy Uttarayanam, Pongal Nalvarthukal, Bigu, happy Bigu. You can mention anything, whatever you want, to all your viewers and to yourself and your family members. Hope all of you are safe. It's my pleasure.
And same here. Happy Lohri also. I'll add what little I know about this day. It's a very special day. And things start heating up from this point forward. That's what is the Uttarayanam, I guess, for all of us. But Sreeram, you've done a fantastic job putting together an objective look at the 5 years of Yogi Adityanath's performance. And viewers, we are going to present you with this report card that JVC Sreeram has compiled, and we're going to look at that objectively line by line, and then we can get an update from him on the latest happenings in the state of Uttar Pradesh. We're putting up the slide now, and Sreeram, please take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Iyer. I think, I've been a little harsh on Yogi. That's what I would say. I've been a little harsh because I have not given any kind of leeway. Let's go by one after another. So population below poverty line. The national average is 21.92% and 29.43%. You should also know where it is coming from. And because UP has been an underdeveloped state, and as a result of which there have been issues. But I'm still giving it a miss. Families with health cover. Again, Ayushman Bharat. It's a miss because 6.1%, it's not acceptable. Doctors and other medical staff. 37 is the average, and here it is 14. I would say work in progress.
And my question is, what was the UP scores for the three categories that we have looked at before Adityanath took? Do you have any idea? I mean, I know it's not there here, but under him, we want to see what kind of changes have happened.
See, certainly it was much, much worse than what is the figure you are seeing here. Particularly when you take the case of a doctors and other medical staff, because that's what I was coming to. There is this Japanese disease, right?
Please go ahead.
Which has been engulfing UP for a long time. And you will see a drastic reduction in that in the last few years' time. But still, I'm giving either a miss or a work in progress, basically because the expectations from Yogi are very high. We are not looking at him as another chief minister, because BJP itself is supposed to be standing for good governance. So as a result, look at the next one, the institutional deliveries of government schemes. People would say it is still less than the national average. Now look at the national average first. 94.4. It's not an ordinary thing in a country like India where there is so much of rural areas. And again here, it is 87.6. And look at his own government. 41.3 it was in 2018, which means before 2017, this should give you an idea, Mr. Iyer. The question for which you are asking, you see, he took over in 2017. 2018, the delivery was at 41.3, and he has literally more than doubled it.
Yes.
In matter of years. Drinking water in premises. Now, this is a big mess because Jal Jeevan is very close to my heart. It is very close to several people's heart. It is one of the flagship scheme of Sri Narendra Modi. I'm sure Yogi Adityanath is going to come back to power. And what I would like to see is a big push on Jal Jeevan in the next 2 years' time, where he is going to take it to probably 100%, and that would be an amazing thing which we'll be looking at. I would now certainly say it is a miss. And here, I just want to touch upon Uttarakhand being a hilly state, and drinking water is something which is very difficult. Now, Uttarakhand has a much better score. I can tell you also the score probably in the due course of time. But Uttar Pradesh, it's still a work in progress. I would call it as a miss now. Now, next is MGNIER, that's 100-day employment. You see here, it is almost equal to the national average, superb it. And maternity mortality, per 1 lakh. It is 197. It is again a work in progress, but it's again a better number than what it was. Now, the biggest success is 8 and 9 because UP topped the rate. You know, it was almost like 32,000 cases were registered in 2013 itself, crime against women. And here we are talking about per 1 lakh, 55.4, where national average is 62.4. Now, this is one of the biggest success. Next, followed by murders per 1 lakh, 2.2 national average, 1.7. And this would have been probably 4 or 5 under Akhilesh Yadav's government. I can tell you. I do not have the exact numbers, but it will be 4 or 5. Households electrified, 100%. Amazing success. Unemployment. It is in fact, across the country, if you look at it now, this is an average which I'm talking about is yesterday's average. That is as on January 14th average. It's not an old because this is something which we can get it on a monthly basis. Now, 4.9%. That's why unemployment as an issue is a non-issue in Uttar Pradesh. While in Punjab, it is a big issue. Now, you look at this and that will tell you a story. And gross value added in agriculture, I'm still say work in progress. And so I think Yogi Adityanath can go to the people of Uttar Pradesh and just talk about these things and win the election. That's it. What more we have to talk about? And add to this is the vaccine. Because in fact, today I wanted to say, in the morning I wanted to tweet actually, forget about development, forget about gas, forget about, you know, your highways and expressways, Purvanchal, forget about Kashi corridor, forget about Ayodhya, forget about everything. On one parameter, you got to vote for Modi and Yogi, which is vaccination. If India had not had those 2 indigenous vaccines, we would have been beggars in the international arena. Yesterday, Chennai reported the maximum cases ever, 8,400 odd cases. But hospitals are not crowded, oxygen beds are not needed, ventilators and ICUs are not required for everybody. Reason? Ask any doctor, he will tell you vaccination. Because vaccination has happened at a frenzied pace. Now, what more you want? You and me are living today, and the reason behind that is Modi. And that's one reason for people to go out in big numbers and vote for Lotus. That's it.
Very objective ranking of Yogi's performance. And in fact, you kept out the big one, which is the vaccination. One of the challenges being thrown at the Yogi government is that it has been in favor of one community versus the other. When it was blatantly done, the same thing by Samajwadi Party, it was in favor of one community and one religion, and it gave a free hand to those two, and even the police couldn't touch them. That was the way it was under the Samajwadi Party government. I'm not going too far back. I'm just talking about Akhilesh Yadav's government and this one. And for the longest time, Akhilesh Yadav was at loggerhead with his own family. His father, his uncles, they were just fighting like, you know, cats and dogs. Everybody was trying to grab the supremacy of the party, and in fact, people said that Akhilesh himself was trying to elbow out his father. So be that as it may, people need to remember that under Yogi, progress has been achieved, and it has been a very impressive progress. So, Sreeram, one question for you is just like every other wave, this wave is also going to die down. It is showing its peak now. It'll die down in a few days. Now, one of the things that we have observed is the workforce that left metropolis, whether it is Delhi or Mumbai or other cities, have come back to UP. Many have not gone back. But if you're saying that they're staying there and still there is not unemployment, that means that there is a lot of work going on in the state. Can you touch upon that?
Yeah, 100%. Yes. One, it is basically the people, because see, in UP, almost in rural UP, everybody has got a small piece of land. And that small piece of land, in fact, if you go there, if you notice, particularly rice growers, if you ask them, they would say that, whom are you growing for? They would say, we are growing for ourselves. We are not growing for to sell in the marketplace. What they would do is they would do a lot of bartering, because I've been personally there. I personally worked with agriculture companies in Uttar Pradesh. So what happens? A lot of these people have gone back. Now, Kisan is getting a lot of focus as far as Modi government is concerned. 6,000 rupees is being given to them on an yearly basis. So the farm things are available. And even if they want to start a small roadside vendor business, they're getting a 10,000 rupees street vendor loan, which is just, a click away from them. Or they can have mudra loans. So as a result of which, a lot of industries are also coming. If you notice, Samsung is putting up the plants there. A lot of companies are going to come. As a result of which, what I would certainly tell Mr. Iyer is that unemployment is not a problem at Uttar Pradesh. One, either they are becoming solopreneurs, whatever you call, solo entrepreneurs, whatever you call, or they're getting back into farming, or they're getting employment. As a result of which, no more, and they've also realized that life probably in a Mumbai or in Delhi or Bangalore or Chennai, it is expensive. Comparatively, they have found that, okay, fine, they can probably take a selfie, because these youngsters also love to go to the mall, throw around themselves, take a selfie. But they realize that life is far more comfortable, peaceful, being in the rural hinterlands of India, particularly in Uttar Pradesh. And that is the reason why you are seeing this kind of figures.
Now let's come to the more interesting aspect of these elections. That is that some MLAs are seen jumping ship from BJP to perhaps SP. We'll start with Swami Prasad Maurya. Has he now quit BJP and joined SP, or is he still in the bargaining stage? What are your thoughts?
No. He has already joined SP. In fact, there is a rapid poll which was conducted yesterday. They were asked whom, according to you, is a more prominent Maurya leader, Siddharth or this guy, and they all, 57% of them said he is not, and 31% of them only gave Swami Prasad the bigger vote. As a result of which, there is nothing to worry. See, I think you rightly tweeted a few days back saying that in our hangout we had mentioned that. Because
yes.
There is going to be fallout. There is going to be fallout because these are things which I've seen it right in person. I'm not talking sitting from the studios. I've gone there, spoken to people, seen the reality. The reality is there is a lot of work to be done by the incumbent MLAs, which has not been done. You need to also understand that riding on the Modi wave of popularity, almost 89 of them joined BJP from other parties. 89 people, and they were given tickets, and they won because of the Modi wave. Now Modi knows pretty well, Yogi knows pretty well, JP Nadda knows pretty well, and Amit Shah also knows pretty well. And more importantly, the man whom nobody knows outside of probably the BJP is Sunil Bansal. Sunil Bansal is the strategist. He is behind this madness. There is a method, and that method is adopted by Sunil Bansal. And he is not an ordinary guy. He's a great strategist. He was the one who was the architect of 2014 victory. Although the strategy was by Amit Shah, but execution was by Sunil Bansal. Now, we should also know that what would happen to a turncoat. 34 MLAs, including ministers from Trinamool Congress, joined BJP. Now, did it seal victory for BJP in West Bengal? No. There are few who are very prominent, like a Suvendu Adhikari, or for that matter, even in Telangana, Ila Rajendra. But not every turncoat can win. We need to understand that. And there is going to be another problem which we are going to have. I'll give you a case in point. In almost 18 constituencies, as of date, because of turncoats, Samajwadi Party is going to have a problem. 18 constituencies as of date, and I'm expecting more number of turncoats to join Samajwadi Party. I will tell you a case in point. Case in point is Nakur Assembly constituency. There is Dharam Saini, who is a BJP turncoat to Samajwadi Party. He was the one who won in 2012 and also in 2017. In 2017 on a BJP ticket. Imran Masood is the runner-up. He is from the Congress in the same constituency. Both of them have landed up in the Samajwadi Party. First person who came was Imran Masood. Now, who is going to get the ticket? And then added to that is the Samajwadi Party leaders themselves who have nurtured hopes, thinking that they will get the ticket. Now, Akhilesh is going to have a problem of plenty, right? And this is now 18 constituencies. We are talking about the migration started when? Tuesday or Wednesday. It's hardly 3 days now. In 3 days, you have 18 seats which have been earmarked by our team as problematic due to rebels. Now, going forward, viewers, please note it. It is not going to be a 4-way contest. It could well become a 5-way contest. You will have a BJP, you will have a BSP, you will have a Samajwadi Party, you will have a Samajwadi Party rebel, and you will have a Congress. And in some of the constituencies, you will have MIM. In other constituencies, you will have MIM. Okay. Now, this is the fact of the matter. Defections can happen. Defectors are going there for the sake of this one thing called as 1+1 offer. Father joins, son also will get a ticket. Now, that's the situation. Now, structurally, it also shows how weak SP is. Because in a lot of places, SP themselves, either they will have rebel candidates or their system itself is weak. Because SP cannot contest in 400 seats, Mr. Iyer. That is why they gave 100 seats to Congress in 2017. SP doesn't have a pan-Uttar Pradesh presence. At least BSP has pan-Uttar Pradesh presence. They would have 403 candidates. SP does not have. Not many people know it. Now, that's why they stitched a Rainbow Alliance. And you have not asked me this question. I'm going to come to it also. Rashtriya Lokdal. Now, Jats are saying very clearly, if there is a Jat RLD person standing in Uttar Pradesh, we might be voting for RLD. That too, only 60% of the Jats are saying it. They're saying if there is a Muslim candidate put by an RLD, we would not vote. And in few places, they've already fielded a Muslim candidate in Western UP. If it is a Samajwadi Party candidate, we are not voting. So this alliance will not work on the ground. It didn't work in 2019, even with BSP as its partner. Now, where are the analysts who are doing it? I don't know. Some of them are playing conservative. Even my good friends are playing very conservative because some of them have had a bad time as far as Bengal prediction is concerned, as a result of which they want to play conservative, saying no 220, 230 kind of stuff. No 34% Samajwadi Party vote share. My foot. Samajwadi Party, sorry to use this word in your channel, Samajwadi Party, at its best effort, can touch 32%, not more than that. And that too, I'm talking about Samajwadi Party plus all the alliance and defectors. But on its own, its core vote base is only 26.5%. That's it.
So a couple of questions that come to my mind, Sreeram. First one is RLD. Is RLD teaming up with SP this time?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, so those two are together.
It's an alliance.
Okay.
It's an alliance. It's an alliance. It's an alliance.
So second question that I have for you is, you can start from 2014. No, I should say start from 2017. 2017, 2019, and now 2024. And then let's take a look at the SP, BSP romancing, or you want to call it coopetition, cooperative competition, coopetition. Now, we touched upon this a few episodes ago when we were talking about UP. Just walk us through, because our memories are very short. We don't remember who was whose friend, who was whose enemy. Suddenly they are frenemies now. So maybe frenemies is something that everybody relates to. Start from 2017 and walk us through that part.
2017, it was SP which allied with Congress. BSP stood separately. BJP won close to around 39-40% of votes. Along with its alliance, it's around more than 40%. BSP came second, and SP came third. Congress came fourth. Okay, Congress was in alliance. Congress won around 7 seats, but SP scored more seats, but got less percentage of votes. This was the situation in 2017. BJP won 312, along with the alliance partners, Apna Dal, the number was 325. It was a sweep. Come to 2019, SP realizes that Congress is a liability and they do not have any scope outside of Raebareli. So they did not field any candidate in Raebareli. And Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party and Rashtriya Lokdal stood together. And people said BJP may not even cross 30 because it's a massive alliance. It's like ADMK and DMK coming together in Tamil Nadu. Okay, that is the kind of alliance we are talking about. And against that, BJP along with its allies scored 50%, not 1 or 2, 50%. And it stunned everybody. BSP got again more percentage of votes and more seats than SP. SP did not gain in any way. Whatever SP scored in 2014, they scored in 2019. Now coming to 2022 elections. BSP is contesting alone in all the 403 constituencies. Congress is contesting alone in all the 403 constituencies. For all you know, on March 10th, you can question me if you want. There are pollsters who are saying that Congress may not even open its account. Congress may not even open it. And that's going to be the last nail on the coffin of Congress. Okay. And SP is in alliance with RLD. It is in alliance with Chandrasekhar Azad, who is expected to contest in 1 seat. And they have an alliance of Apna Lokdal's one of the faction, the mother, the daughter is with BJP. And they have an alliance with the Rajbar Party. The Rajbar Party is again another community they have. So what their focus is, this is what is their focus. MIM is going to contest in 100 seats. BJP is contesting along with 2 allies. Both of them have an important role to play. One is the Nishad Party. Nishad Party is the party which has got all these boatmen who form a very strong, community base in the Gangetic plains, the river Ganges, whatever it flows, they're all there. They're actually the opinion makers, I could say. And then Apna Lokdal, Anupriya Patel's faction, which they hold the Kurmi votes. And they also have a strong presence in Eastern Uttar Pradesh or Purvanchal. So that is a state as far as the alliance is concerned. Hope I have clarified the situation for you. I'm not able to hear you.
Yes, you have. And it's very, very, very data driven. Thank you so much for that. Now, 2019 showed us one facet, which was that when they combine, that is SP and BSP, actually it works worse for them as opposed to like maybe they were in a 3-way battle. So this is a sort of a twist in the tail, if you will. Now, 2 people that are supposed to be cutting into the Muslim vote bank of Samajwadi Party, Congress and MIM. How much do you think the impact will be of these 2 parties?
Very less. MIM could, but Congress is not in a position. That's why I said Congress may not even open its account. Congress has surprisingly it has fielded a lot of Muslim candidates. In the first list, when I saw in the first page itself, there were several Muslim candidates who were there. So there could be some cut, but it would not be in double digit. It would be in single digit percentage. I'm talking about. In fact, BSP, if she starts fielding Muslim candidates, that could be a cause for concern for SP, because there are 35 seats where Muslims account for over 45% of vote. Now we need to understand. Now in these 35 seats, I would be microscopically looking at. I will keep updating you as and when the seat allocations happen, and in our hangouts we will speak about it. How is the contest going to be in these 35 seats? That would determine whether BJP can even win in these constituencies. Because for your viewers, I would like to mention that there are 66 constituencies in, I think, roughly around 13 districts, where the Muslim population is anywhere between 33 and 52%. And of these 66 constituencies, BJP won in 50 constituencies and Samajwadi Party won in 16 constituencies. Because if there is a polarization, there is a reverse polarization which should also happen. Right? So if a 45% dominated Muslim constituency, see, some places like Rampur or Assamgarh, it will be difficult for BJP to score. But there are some other places where BJP will be in a position to score because there would be counter-Hindu consolidation and polarization.
Wonderful. So, final question is, what do you think is the tally as of today?
Very tough answer, Mr. Iyer. I would say 300 plus. Now, can it go all the way to, for BJP? Okay, can it go all the way to 357, which is what is the upper limit, which I mentioned? I would have to wait and watch. Okay. Now, as of now, it is anywhere between 280 and 300. We need to look at in terms of what could be the candidate. Are there going to be rebel candidates from BJP itself? That's going to be a question mark. Because I think they're going to reward a lot of Karyakartas. The Karyakartas who have toiled for the last 10 years, ever since 2012 defeat. It's been an absolute toil for the Karyakartas of BJP. So these 10 years, they're all disciplined soldiers. Many of them are going to get opportunities. Many of them who have been the foot soldiers of RSS and BJP would now be contesting as MLA candidates. And I'm sure there would be massive support for them locally. And as much as this election is going to be fought based on Modi and Yogi at the top, it would be fought based on the local candidate too. And that's why I think these new norms, COVID norms, which have been mentioned by the Electoral Commission of India, there is, as of now, they have banned rallies, you have to do virtual rallies, you have to do door-to-door campaign. Door-to-door campaign has picked up already. So the local flavor, this door-to-door campaign will favor only two parties. It will favor BJP and it will favor BSP. Why I say BJP and BSP is because BJP is known for door-to-door campaign. The entire Amit Shah's, Sunil Bansal's plan of 2012 to 14 itself was door-to-door. They didn't rely on massive rallies. Massive rallies happened in the later portion of the election going into 2014. But the first 1.5 years groundwork was done by Amit Shah and Sunil Bansal on door-to-door. It would work. Now again, BSP has got this amazing door-to-door campaign. Okay, they're underestimating BSP because BSP has got foot soldiers who will go into the Dalit colonies, who will talk, consolidate, silently work. That's how Mayawati is known to work. Okay. If you ask me, I have one wish. My only wish is Mayawati should stay relevant in UP politics. We don't want, because Akhilesh, if you ask any day between Akhilesh and Mayawati, whom would you favor as an opposition candidate for BJP? I would any day say Mayawati. Okay. It is not for anything, but at least that lady, with all the kind of, coming from the downtrodden community, Dalit community, she had fought a massive battle in a men-dominated Uttar Pradesh, and she had established herself. And it will be very sad if I see BSP going into single digit, which is what is being predicted by many people. I hope it doesn't. That's my only hope which I have for the opposition. And we need to have a good opposition also. We can't be having, even if BJP wins 357 seats, it's fine. But there should be some opposition voice. And I would prefer a Mayawati-led opposition than an Akhilesh-led opposition.
And last question, has BJP released any list of candidates?
I think tomorrow they're going to release the first list of candidates.
So we will start knowing your predictions about Karyakartas getting more exposure. That's wonderful to know.
So one second, Mr. Iyer. Probably the first list may not have a lot of changes. The changes we will see more in the final 3 phases when the election moves into the Purvanchal. It is because it is Purvanchal where you're seeing all these migration of the leaders. The first few lists, the first 2-3 phases, you will not have major problems because most of them are local BJP candidates who actually had won. So Western Uttar Pradesh was never a problem. Awadh was never a problem. Bundelkhand was never a problem. It was Purvanchal where the problem starts because that's where a lot of migrations happen. So you will not see a big change of list, but you will see as the phases start coming out.
Thank you very much, Sreeram. And as always, a pleasure talking to you and listening to you on your predictions. And let's wait and see how this plays out. We'll be back again in about 2 weeks' time, but that would be sort of the time that the first round of polling will start. And we will do a full coverage with your permission, JVC Sreeram. I'm making this announcement where we are going to look at all the states. Just take a look at it. We're going to try and do our best. JVC is a much sought after man, and then I can tell you he is in so many channels. Amazing time you have because you have a full-time job too on top of this. So thank you very much, JVC, and viewers, do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and also click on the join button. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaskar. Thank you very much.